Continuing with cycle notification settings. These settings are set to notify you via email when selected items within your business need action in things like maintenance due dates, equipment expiry dates, and things like that. Now the default setting is no cycle required, so no notifications required. The one beneath that, group items with the same review or expiry date and only send one notification. I believe that's self-explanatory, but imagine that you buy, let's say, 100 power tools, and they've all got to be checked in 12 months' time. You don't want to receive one email for each item. You're just going to want to receive one email for that particular group of items. So then what we can select from is we can select the repeat period, daily, weekly, monthly, or annually, as you can see, yearly. Okay, so if it's yearly, we'll select that and then repeat every 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or of course if you pick weekly, then you can say repeat every 8 weeks. And then the date field to be used for calculations of notification. Remember, we added 2 different date fields. We added the last maintenance date or the next inspection due date. So this is the cycle that this is going to be based upon. And then you can select when this cycle ends. Never going to end after, and put in the period here. This is the number of occurrences. And then you can select the actual date when this cycle is to end. And again, once you've done that, you can click on Save and Close or Save and Continue. But I'm just going to explain the third one, which, having explained what the group items with the same review or expiry date does, then this one is you would receive an individual notification for each of those 100 power tools that you've just purchased and registered. Okay, so that's the option. And again, you would get the same repeats, monthly, yearly, repeat frequency, the date field to be used, and then to specify when this ends, never after or on a particular date. With this third option, you can also select to create a separate tracking instance for each notification cycle. This setting, if you select yes, creates a separate tracking cycle for things such as daily reports or weekly audits, monthly inspections, the things that require tracking and actioning each time. So if you want that, click on yes, and again, save and close if there's no more to be done, or you want to go and park what you're doing here and move on to something else, or we click on Save and Continue. Now the fourth step is user notification setting. And as the note says, if you select a role, all users that have been assigned that role will be selected and will receive the notification. And if you only require specific users to be notified, ensure that you only select the name of the user, not the role. Again, we assign users to roles. So if something is assigned to notify a role, then everybody who is assigned to that role will get notified. So if you don't want that to happen, you must select the individual. So we click on Add More, and then we can select the role or user you wish to receive the information. So for example, if I just want Russ employee, that's all I would select. If I had a number of employees, or I'm going to be hiring some employees and I want them to be added to this list as soon as they get hired, I would select the employee button. But to do it individually, you do it like that. And then for this plant and registers, now I don't need my training manager, don't need my company admin, but I need my employee. No, I don't need my employees notified, or my work supervisor and my works manager. In fact, I will do company admin, but the role rather than the individual. And then I can select my email template, register item added, and then I can select when they're going to be notified. And this is based on the number of days. Now you can select before or after. And so let's say, for example, I want a register notification and I want to know 2 weeks before. I select that. But I also want a notification. Again, work supervisor, works manager, company admin. I want to be notified 7 days before. I also want it to be notified 3 days before, and then I also want to be added or want to be notified 7 days after, just in case something's gone wrong. In fact, 3 days after, and then I'll do another one 7 days after, because then the brain stuff's going to start hitting the fan. And there we go. That's come to the end of the sequence of creating a new register. So the only options that I've got now are to save and close or to cancel. So I'm going to click on save and close. And there we go, category updated successfully. And there is my register created in my list. If I click on register forms, I can now see that my form has been added to the forms. And if I click on register fields, I can see that I have my fields. Now, if you remember, I made my description field. All these fields were compulsory. They were all required fields. I'm now going to edit the field and turn off it being a required field. It's a description, yeah? So that's how you would edit a field. Now, this is quite a long process, and I broke it down into these separate videos. But hopefully you can see that once you've created your form fields, what you can do when you need to create a register or a form is you can come into register management, click on register fields, and then just add a new form field. And then you can do it that way. You can do it bottom up. So you start with the fields, then you create a form, then you add them to the form. Then you add the form to the register, and you can do it that way. But to do it top down, like create the register, create the form, create the fields, add the fields to the form, add the form to the register, that just shows you how to do it in one long process.